how stupid can people be? Are you really falling for this? Just as how you fell to the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor thing. A boxer will always beat a mixed martial artist in boxing. A mixed martial artist will always beat a boxer in the octagon and in mixed martial arts. That's how it works. Francis Ngannou has no chance of beating freaking Fury. He simply doesn't. Not only is Fury an expert boxer, but I believe that he's probably one of the most unbeatable boxers of his generation based on how good he is at the fundamentals of boxing, how long he's been boxing, his size and his weight and his footwork for someone of his size. So there's so many elements that make him a very hard boxer to face amongst expert boxers, but you want a guy who has no expertise in boxing to defeat him. This is what people need to understand. Boxing looks like a fight. It looks like a fight, but it isn't a fight. Boxing is a sport, and people keep having this misconception of like, oh yeah, let us fight. I think it's going to beat him. Boxing is a science. It's a sport, and there are certain parameters and there are certain skill sets to do with that sport. It isn't just a fight. If you go in there trying to fight, you'll get beat up because you can't throw a guy. You can't push a guy. You can't shove a guy. You can't hit below the belt. You can't tackle a guy. There are so many different restrictions because in boxing, you have to understand spacing. You have to understand the angles. You have to understand when to slow down the fight. You have to understand when to go for the jab, when to go for a body shot, when, and just different tactics involved within a fight. Okay, what to do in the first few rounds. Knowing your opponent's weaknesses, knowing your opponent's game plan, how to now nullify your opponent's game plan. These are so many different things you need to know. So for Francis Ngannou, you have no chance. But you see, I get it. He's been screwed over by Dana White, screwed over by UFC because UFC, which is one of the fastest growing sports out there, the fighters are not being paid what they deserve. For me who I'm more of a boxing purist, but I have known of the UFC and I keep seeing so many people talking about the UFC. I'm like, bro, for something this popular, Dana White's cut the damn check. Bro, there is a lot of money that is going amiss. So they need to get paid. And I think for someone like Francis Ngannou, he looks at what Conor McGregor did. Because here's the thing. I don't hate what Francis Ngannou is doing. He knows he's going to lose. He knows he has no chance. But the amount of money he's going to make from this, I think is more than the entire run he's had at the UFC. So he knows that, bro, boxing is bigger. Like literally, like earlier today, I was just watching some clips of Muhammad Ali back in the day. But I mean, obviously now football is the number one sport right now. But bro, you see, boxing is still feeling the residuals of what the likes of Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Foreman, Tyson, Holyfield, all these greats did. That's made boxing so, like the biggest thing on the freaking planet. Like, I mean, we already know I'm a football guy. I'm a huge football guy. There is no sporting event ever in history that was bigger than Rumble in the Jungle. That Foreman Ali fight, I think it is the greatest, number one, probably the most watched sporting event of all time, of literally of all time. So, and Muhammad Ali is the most famous, greatest sports person of all time. And who was he? He was a boxer. So, boxing comes with so much you can get in terms of exposure and money, which UFC just hasn't reached yet. But so I get what Ngannou is doing. I get what Mike Tyson is doing, being his trainer. I get all that. But I'm not wasting my time watching that fight. It's a waste of time. Just as how I'm not wasting my time watching YouTube guys fight. Because see, for me, people just watch because, hey, it's popular, it's interesting. Oh, this is what everyone is talking about. Boom. I'm not a super boxing purist, but I appreciate and I respect the art of boxing. And as someone that appreciates the art of boxing and I appreciate what Floyd Mayweather is, Roy Jones Jr. is, I think it would be an insult to me wasting my time watching Fury against Ngannou. Fury knows that he's going to beat the living crap out of this guy. See, Fury's focus is Usyk. That is his focus. Is like, okay, let me get Usyk and then complete all the dots. That is his real focus. And see, that I'll watch. You see, for me, Fury, Usyk, I'm there. Joshua Wilder with me with the undercard, I'm there. This, I mean, for me, this is almost similar to the YouTube guys fighting. It's a comedy show. It's a comedy show. Like, oh, what if a UFC guy fought a thinking guy? Like, Fury knows that. Don't you dare step in the octagon with Francis Ngannou. Because you step in the octagon with Francis Ngannou, you will get lubricated, circumcised, colonized, devalued, and chemically re-engineered in about 30 seconds or a minute. Because Francis Ngannou will be like, Fury, you don't know what to do when you're on the floor. You don't know what to do when to get tackled. Do you know how to kick? Do you know how to elbow? Do you know how to use all different parts of your body? You're an expert at using your hands. I'm an expert at using everything. And that's why this boxing is crazy. UFC fighters are jack of all trades. Boxers are masters of one trade. So that's why it's called mixed martial arts. So for a fighter, he knows that. So if you're a Francis Ngannou, you're a Khabib, you're any of these guys, you're a John Jones, you know that, oh, I can kick, I can elbow, I can box, I can wrestle, I can grapple. So there are guys like Khabib who, oh, I'm an expert wrestler, I'm good on the groundwork. On some other guys, okay, I'm pretty good at all different things and maybe a bit better at this stuff. But for a boxer, all you've done morning, day, and night is perfect the art of boxing. So if you get in an octagon, like, bro, if Fury tried to fight Francis Ngannou or John Jones in the octagon, he would get dismembered. And for the adverse, if Ngannou or John Jones fights Fury in boxing, they'll get destroyed because Fury, I know he looks awkward and he looks a bit big. Fury is a very good boxer. Like, don't let his physique fool you. He's a very good boxer, as we saw against Klitschko. Like, bro, like, Wilder, I never viewed Wilder as a boxer. What Fury did to Klitschko, who was invincible until then, just showed just how much of a good boxer this guy is. And now he has knockout power. So for me, bro, like, this, I'll be surprised if this goes past 5 rounds. I'm saying my prediction is TKO 4 or 5. It's going to be a TKO in round 4 or 5. Because Fury will want to put on a show, and he definitely want it to go 12 rounds. Because, see, all this talk about how, oh my gosh, people want to see because, like, man, what if I lose and it could be embarrassing? Fury knows he has no chance of losing. He knows that. Ngannou, of course, for Ngannou, you feel you've got something, but for Ngannou, right down, he knows that I've got no chance. For Ngannou is just keep selling it, sell it, sell it, sell it. Fool people. You ain't going to fool me. You ain't going to fool me, but fool people and get your money. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Because Ngannou knows that win, lose, or draw, I'm going to get paid. Because of the amount of people who will watch this and be tuned into this. Because this is the sad reality. More people are going to view this freak show and this dumb fight than any of the great UFC fights. That's just the sad reality. So he's going to earn more money for this boxing fight than in any of his fights put together in the UFC. And that's why he's doing it, because Ngannou did it because Dana White was screwing him over, as Dana White has screwed over so many UFC fighters. So that's my view. Like, for me, no. Like, I have no interest in viewing the fight at all. Like, it means nothing to me. Like, for me, I am looking forward to Joshua Wilder, and I'm looking forward to Usyk against your boy Fury. And you know what? I want to try and dip my toe into UFC, because boxing is so trash. It's so annoying. All the fights that she wants never gets done. Like, bro, Joshua was supposed to fight Fury. So I'm like, look, man, let me check out this, because the only UFC fights I saw was the Conor McGregor-Khabib fight. And I think a few others, but I want to maybe dip my toe into UFC a bit more. But yeah, this is a freak show, total freak show, man.